Just back with this build. Yeah. Oh, got to rest Surge of Grace. There we are. So, as of last time, I had a nice little build going. I got Halo Scythe as my primary weapon because of the passive bleed and the lovely ranged effect. It's going to be my main source of poke damage against enemies and also my main source of regular damage. I was considering maybe working up together a second one just because I really do like the Twin Scythes approach. Two-handing scythes is always fun. Then again, I'm not really doing most of my damage through regular attacks. I'm doing most of them through abilities, incantations, and passive effects, and whatever they're called, Ashes of War. So yeah, this one, Ashes of War, my main source of damage. This one, good for taking on bosses. Black Flame Tornado deals % max health damage. Over the course of, hang on, I'm just going to time it. Bollocks. Because the entire time Black Flame is hitting stuff, it deals 2.5% of their max health per second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was about 5 seconds, which against a boss is 12.5% of their max health. Before taking into account the damage I'm actually doing to them. Assuming it works that way, which I'm not sure it does, I don't quite know how it works. I mean, even if we assume it will only activate a few times, like 3 over the course of that one attack, that's still, what is it? 2.5, yeah, still 7.5% of their max health, which is good. Also that, which is a lovely combo because of the delayed attack. You have time to start charging up an R2. So when small enemies stagger, you can hit them with another R2 real quick. I've got Rotten Breath to deal with this guy. Rotten Breath, Dragon Ice, which isn't bad. And Rings of Light, of course, for the added attack. No, I wasn't targeting that one. Came up here the first time, I was expecting another Onyx Lord. It was not an Onyx Lord. One, 2, 3. Always switch directions when this thing charges. Ideally, it's going to start doing, yep, that. 1, 2, 3. And now I can use this for rotation of that. It's not. Yep, he's rotted. Good. That's % max health damage. Guaranteed. Frostbite, not quite procs, and I'm dead anyway. Ticket. Anyway, try that again. Just wait for him to do his annoying thing. this up. Oh, for fuck's sake, if I just hadn't aggroed onto that fucking miner. I was not attacking him. Obviously I was aggroing onto the big thing. Because... wait until he does that again. 1, 2... bollocks! I forgot, it's R1 on horseback, not L1. So wait for him to do that thing yet again. No, 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 not... fuck you! That thing is undodgeable on horseback. Well, not completely undodgeable, but nearest makes no difference. It's annoying, is what I'm saying. Come on, use your bullshit ranged attack. This time I want the full thing, all 3 of them, and fuck you with that other bullshit ranged attack which is undodgeable. And that with ridiculous tracking. God, I hate this boss. Use the move! Just use it! It's your best ranged option you've got. I think I can just run away from that attack and it works. Left, right, left. Fucking drill sergeant. Right. 1, 2, and rot. Okay. Rot has been done. Annoyingly, I don't have any faster incantations. I really need to start using... oh, so I'm just going to keep waiting and let him pull that ranged attack again, and hopefully this time... no. Charging attack, why not? Come on, start with the frost. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Ow, and I've equipped this fucking sword again, which means that's a waste of a rotation, and my horse is dead. And I'm hit while I'm on the floor. Fucking hell. Obviously I'm not going to try and fight that guy on foot, I'll be a sitting duck. They're annoying as hell to fight on foot. Besides, that's not the point. What the fuck? Oh, come on, Torrent is not dead. I got hit once. And of course, for reasons of bullshittery, that doesn't hit. Not all of it anyway, which means I can't rot the guy. 1, 2... okay, rot is finally done. Left, to the right, left, right. Holy shit. This thing does not like holy damage. Good to know. I, however, am a fan of it, so... whoa. I was not expecting that. Okay, good. So now you can hit this and can knock this guy out mid-charge. There we are, he's done. 1 and 2 should do it. I'll do 3 just to be nice. Yep. Aha, gotcha. Didn't even use an attack on him. I'll be fighting these guys just after I've healed up. One of these guys is of course going to be trying to get an opening big enough to rot one of them. Once one of them's got rot and I can pepper the torch-bearing one with Michaela's Rings of Light, it's not that big a deal. I just need that. Okay, well, I'll do this the sneaky way. Sneak up on this guy from behind, hit him with that. 1, 2, 3 should be a full proc. Yep, procced rot on the fucker. Get back out here. No, 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 I'm not fighting just one of you. That takes forever. Yeah, of course, that's half expecting that to work, and it didn't. Wow, this is surprising. Oh wait, fuck you. Black Flame Tornado. Oh, what the fuck? Really? Right, I really need more health, don't I? I'll get one shot by anything. Or 2 shots if I'm being generous. But that thing hit me, I was... Yeah. I was not expecting one hit to be able to kill me that quickly. Long breath. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, come on! It is one attack. I cannot take one attack from these things. How is that possible? How little health do I have? 18. Fucking hell. Right. Well, I deal practically no damage to these things. I'm gonna just fight them one at a time, make it easier. Oh, fuck you. Well, at least I survived 2 attacks. Well, I died after 2 attacks that time. I mean, it was a 2-part attack. It was a 2-hit combo. It killed me. These things are killable. Oh, and of course, somehow managed to not proc rot for once. Full combo, as per usual. Full breath, I mean, as per usual. Always procs rot before. Does it proc rot this time? No, it does not. Is there a reason for this? None that I can infer. There's the other tree sentinel, who I also need to proc rot on. And of course, yeah, hits me through multiple barriers. Fuck you. What the fuck? There's a wall in the way. How does everything hit me through a wall? I can kill these things. Got the right equipment, got the right abilities. I just need to actually be able to hit them, and to not have them not be able to hit me through a fucking wall. There we go. Come on, you twat. Get rot. Nope. Somehow, again, no rot. And dead in 1 hit, as per fucking usual. How? How? I have 19 in health. That's not an enormous amount, sure, but this isn't exactly the late fucking game. Things shouldn't be able to one-shot me. Fuck you, Elden Ring, with your bullshit bosses. Like, this thing... Sometimes it gets rotted by 1 breath, sometimes it takes 2. Okay, yeah, now it's rotted, good. What the fuck? Sure, why the fuck not? It can change the direction of its attack mid-attack while in the air on a fucking horse. Oh, fucking course it can. Well, fuck this, I'm done. I'm so sick of this. Like, it's a good build, and yet I can be one-shot by fucking everything. Why can I get one-shot by everything? Because everything in Elden Ring deals 12 billion damage. There is no point in doing anything other than a fucking full armor 50 HP build. That's the only way to make this I've found to make this game enjoyable. I don't like that. It's boring as fuck. I hit things very hard and then they die. No! I would like to use some strategy, please. Oh, what's this? Strategy doesn't fucking exist because the game is just ridiculously badly designed for what it is. If you're going to have bosses, make them bosses. Which is to say, they are challenges for the player. With, you know, predictable moves and such. That's how bosses work, you twats. Do Do bosses work like that in Elden Ring? No! The bosses deal ridiculous amounts of damage, and even if you dodge them with the dodge roll button, thank you very much for that, Elden Ring, then once you have dodged with the dodge roll button, it doesn't fucking matter, because even if the axe doesn't hit you, the fucking shockwave from it hitting the ground will. Oh, and even if you dodge, it doesn't matter, because the enemy is jumping in the air with a halberd in one hand and can somehow turn mid-attack completely around, like a full 180. 180 degree turns in the air while attacking. This makes sense? No! Does it fucking matter? Not in the slightest. I just want one thing that makes sense in this game. Just one. Just one situation that I can actually approach from a logical perspective, not from a bullshit perspective of thinking, right, how many times do I have to hit this thing with a big stick for it to die? Of what? 600 health. That's fucking nothing. Right. Why am I even talking to this cunt? Well, I have this anyway. That's nice. I know where I can get the magma breath, so I should probably go and get that. It's probably manageable. There'll be another annoying boss, but, well, at least it's just a fucking magma worm. Another boss with bullshit abilities, because you have to stand under it to attack it. Have I mentioned I fucking hate that? Like, seriously, just, yeah, make a boss 12 times bigger than the player and make you have to stand under it to attack it. And what's this? Even if the boss misses you with its sword, it still hits you because there's shockwaves. Just make things smaller from Soft. The game doesn't need to be this big, the bosses don't need to be this big, none of it needs to be this fucking big. Look, I've just crossed a large portion of the game. Like, this is several hundred meters. In no other Elden from Soft game, in no other Souls-like game, can you go several hundred meters without something trying to kill you. You know what there are here? Sheep. Enemies? No. Random soldiers? No. Slugs that vomit acid on you? No. What are there? Sheep. Why sheep? Nobody plays a fucking game like this for sheep. How did they design their bosses so badly? Look at this, it's another Tibia Mariner. There's 12 of them. And they all suck. This one's special. It summons a giant skeleton. Wait, it's not special. 8 others do that. Well, maybe not 8, but you get the fucking point. But hey, it's fine. So at least there's not an interesting moveset locked behind this very dumb boss. And you have to fight 12 different times in 12 different places. For fuck's sake. What level am I right now? 52. Well, I am severely underleveled for the area, so getting one shot isn't that big a deal, but I mean, for fuck's sake. Actually, I'm not severely underleveled. What level am I meant to be for this place? What is it? I'm going to be 20 for the Weeping Peninsula. Starting level for Limgrave, 20 for the Weeping Peninsula, 30 for Stormvale Castle, 40-ish for Caelid, not for Caelid, for Liurnia, 50-ish for Caelid, 60-ish for the Atlas Plateau. I'm 8 levels below where I'm meant to be. It's meant to be 70-ish for Lanedale, and 80-ish for the sewers under Lanedale, 90-ish for the Mountaintop of Giants, 100-ish for the late game bosses, and roughly 110 Consecrated Snowfields, and 120 odd for the Haligtree. That's usually... I saw a diagram once of what had been calculated to be the average level of the players when entering a specific area. Still, there's an enemy up here I'll enjoy fighting. I won't enjoy fighting him at all, but oh right, it is there, it's just borderline invisible. I'd forgotten that. What the? Where did I take damage? Why did I have 1 damage? 1 health left, that's strange. Did I take damage earlier in the attack? I don't think so. Something must have hit me, but I can't remember what for the life of me. Oh well, try again. Well, he's got rot now, that's nice. Oh, fucking hell, what? Wait, you telling me Torrent doesn't regain health after I die? I would explain some shit, but also be... Oh, for fuck's sake. And the Magma Worm can one-shot me too. With an attack which has a lot of range and a lot of tracking. Fuck this bullshit. If I want to fight enemies that are puffing... You know who I liked? Sir Alon, the Ruined King, bosses who were designed to be good at fighting. Not bosses that were designed to have the same moves as all the other bosses but deal more damage. FromSoft, how did you drop the ball so fucking hard between games? We're gonna make it open world. Good. Is it going to be good? Who cares? It's open world. Yep. Much like with the Taurus Demon, here is the cheese strategy. I'll regen my health and 1, 2, dodge back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch back. 1 more. Another. Alright, that's all my mana gone. I'm sure that he will inevitably have just enough health left that the rot doesn't kill him. And since I'm out of mana and out of most of my abilities, I'm basically screwed unless I have... Do I have something I can use for that? Inventory... Oh, I have knives. Might as well. 6 kukris isn't a lot, but it's better than nothing. He's still taking damage, I just want to add to it. Oh, he's there. Hello. Ah, yep, I was right. He has stopped taking the damage. I'd forgotten that kukris can't really be thrown from horseback unless you are walking towards the enemy. What the fuck? And one shot again. And dead again, and I get to restart. Dog shit. He's absolutely a dog shit game. Wonderful weapons, great regular enemies, good dungeon design, absolute crap bosses. Who the fuck designed the bosses in this game? Why? Why did they design it like this? Please proc it in one cast. Not quite. He's proc rot though, that'll do. There's a person watching. Hello, person watching. I'm trying to kill Magma Worm here. Of course, I'm severely underleveled and can be one-shot by any of his attacks, so it's going unpleasantly. Yep. Instant death. I mean, I could honestly just sit around, rot him once, wait for him to stop being rotted, and then rot him a second time, but that sounds incredibly boring, so I'm not doing that. Logically I should, I'm not going to. Go, he uses his bullshit charge, which of course can change direction, despite the fact that he's the size of a tank. Torrent is low health, because Torrent apparently doesn't regen health after you die. This guy is attacking behind him when I'm standing in front of him, and hooray! Rot only required one cast to proc. I don't know why sometimes it takes 2, and sometimes it takes 1, and sometimes it takes 1.5. I don't know that. What I do know is I hate this fucking boss. All 12 times you fight him. What the? Oh, come on! Are you kidding me? I get one shot by the fucking lava? Either that or the back of his sword while he's not attacking has a hitbox. Sir. I never understand this game. All of their bosses just flail around, they don't even have moves. This thing has an attack. This is an attack. Charge, drop lava behind. But sometimes I'll just turn around, and turning around somehow registers as an attack. Attacks involve movement. And yeah, fully unloaded rot, and unlike last time, it doesn't proc. There we are. Usually it costs 1.5 at most. There we go, into the cheese. Should I just wait up here for him to stop being rotted and then do it again, or no, because I probably won't be able to do it a second time. Oh! Fuck! I thought, hey, I've survived one attack. Nope. Still, the Black Flame Tornado is a very useful tool for giant bosses with way more health than I have. So with the Black Flame Fireball, if I ever get around to actually unlocking the fucking thing, I've got to do that after this. And all this because I want fucking magma. What the fuck? He wasn't going that way. Oh, for fuck's sake. And, of course, the lava on the ground can damage me while I'm on a horse. Makes perfect fucking sense. I get one shot. I hate this thing. I hate this thing. I hate this fucking boss. And of course, Torrent doesn't regen health, so he's very low now. And dead. Oh, not quite. And he's rotted. It's nice. What the fuck? Why did I default to jumping towards his fucking mouth? What? And what hit me? I was on a fucking horse. I was on a horse. And yet, lava damaged me. I don't understand. Sometimes lava I'm standing in damages just Torrent, sometimes it damages me too. Sometimes rot will proc with one full cast of rotten breath. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes this guy will turn around mid-attack. Sometimes he won't. Sometimes I'll jump in the direction I was charging on Torrent. Sometimes I'll jump towards the enemy. procced. That's one. I'm pressing down, you twat. Why am I not getting off the fucking horse? And I'm caught on a tree. Get off! What, is the fucking down button stopped working? Oh, for fuck's sake. Sure. Makes total sense that the wind up to that attack would look exactly the same as the wind up to his other 4 attacks. That's not tiresome. That's not shitty boss design. I should be able to fight this guy. I can deal enough damage. But no. No. If he was smaller, I might be able to see what I was doing half the time, because there wouldn't be an entire enemy in the way. Why am I not getting off torrent? I'm pressing the fucking down button. Fucking hell, what? What is going on? See, I'm pressing it. Yeah, I pressed it 4 times then, and on the 4th one, I jumped off. I do not get this. That should have killed me, and it didn't. I don't get that either. The sword went nowhere near me. It only hit the horse I was standing at. Why? What happens? What is the hitbox when you're on that horse? Can I see the fucking diagram, please? Sometimes I take damage while I'm on the horse, sometimes I don't. Is there a rule? What? Sometimes the sword will just hit the horse, sometimes it will hit me too. Is it my legs? Do my legs still have a hitbox? And of course, this guy changes up his combos and pulls the attack 3 times instead of 2. Opens with 2 casts of it every single time you fight him, except sometimes when he does it 3 times. There is no consistency, and without consistency you can't plan around a boss's moves. It's simple. Like the Nameless King, the guy had clear tells. He had things he would do, clear cut moves that you could recognise the animations for. Bosses in this game, I don't even think they have animations for their moves. See? Does it twice now, then does it 3 times. Was there a need to do it a 3rd time? Yes, but that... anything I can work around other than just have more health and deal more damage. Just any move that I can, plan my attacks around. Torrent, what the fuck? Oh great, of course, yeah, there's lava in the lava. That makes more sense, of course. Not only is the lava I'm in lava, there is also lava in it. Fuck this thing. Yes, I know I should technically come back later on when I have more health and deal more damage, but fuck that! I can kill this guy. I should be able to kill this guy. I just got hit by nothing. Actually, I just got hit by the lava I was standing in, clearly, but... fuck's sake, why doesn't Torrent regenerate health? Seriously. It's another thing, it's impossible to plan around with a fucking boss like this. Let me fight some bosses on horseback. Sure. Will the horse regenerate health after you die, so he goes back with a full health bar like you every time? No. Oh, come on! Lava above me? What? Look at where I am standing. There is no lava. I am standing on a rock. There was no fire. Never fucking mind. I can kill this thing. There are ways of fighting it that make sense. There has to be something in this game that makes sense. Some strategy I can employ with all of my effective tools for damaging bosses. Some strategy that actually works. Other than literally just doing this. There we are, he's rotted. I'm going to stand here, let the rock burn itself out, and then when he stops being rotted, I'll rot him again. No! He's decided to have a brain, has he? Good for him. Oh, this would be the ideal time for him to use that ridiculous jumping attack. Is he using that ridiculous jumping attack? No! Again, you can't use Ashes of War while on horseback, even the ranged ones. Okay, phase 2 has been achieved. Rot should deproc anytime soon. I tried to fight this guy in a fun way, now I'm going to fight him in a boring way. Any attack I can bait, anything you're gonna do. There you go. Fuck. I'm pressing R1, but for some reason it's not working. There we are. Scarlet Rot inflicted. All I need to do is not fucking die. Maybe if he starts walking towards me I can pepper him with rings of light. I can. That's annoying. But still. I said I was going for a caster build, I might as well cast some abilities. There we go. Great enemy, felled. And I can buy Magma Breath, which I'm sure is going to be very useful to me. Wait, no, I'm not. I don't think it's going to be useful at all. But that reminds me, since I've got this area dealt with, I might as well go and find Alexander. And killing Radon won't be a bad thing to do. I'll head to the cathedral first. Radon can be poisoned, as far as I remember. I do poison, magma breath to damage the area underneath him, rings of light for poke, rings of light for poke, frostbite to increase the damage that the others deal. Allocate the flasks, give me 5 and 5. Since everything can one-shot me, this is actually doing me a lot more good. So will this. Memorize the spell. I don't need glintstone breath, but I do want that. I'm also going to head to Round Table Hold and finally get the flaming orb. Black flame orb, I think it's called. Attack. Yes, I see it. Shut up. Give a prayer book, Godskin prayer book. Yes, I know that they're a work of heresy. I don't care. Studying incantations. I need 20 faith to use this. I have 15. It's annoying. Oh well. How much leveling up can I do? Up. None. Can't level up even once. So, guess I'm fighting this guy with even less damage than I thought I was. Still, I've got Black Flame from my Ash of War. It's not ideal, especially given how much Radon moves about in this fight, but it's at least a form of Black Flame, and given the amount of health he has, anything which deals % max health damage is guaranteed to be useful. I'll start with summoning things, obviously. Once they're dealt with, I'll do Rotten Breath and Dragon Ice, then Magma, then Dragon Ice, and then that'll cost me 1, 2, 3, 6 full, assuming of course I only take 1 cast of the Rock Breath. It'll cost me 5 full magic bars, which means I'll have 1 left to use the Black Flame Tornado and Rings of Light. It's not as good as I'd ideally like, but could be worse. Now, good thing about this, no fireballs. No catapults. I'm actually being let into this area for once. Still got no idea why I randomly get let into places, but whatever. I mean, in my opinion, having to fight your way into this place would be a good way to gain entry to the festival. No, apparently you can just turn up. I could turn up with no weapons, no armour, just a fucker in a loincloth and a chest strap. A pair of bare fists, and I could say, hey, I'm here to fight Radon with everyone. I would not be pulling my weight. Oh yes, I'd forgotten. There are a few enemies left in the area who want to kill me. Of course, there are enemies who you're better off just ignoring most of the time anyway, because they don't drop anything you want, and they're annoying to fight. So. Let's go for the easy parkour option. 1, 2. And here I am. This should be a logically, a manageable thing. Strategy. What am I doing? Magma Breath is a possibility, but I don't know its limits yet. I haven't really tested it against anything. It could do a lot of damage, it could deal very little, who knows? It's obviously going to deal a lot less damage when I use it than the boss used it, but who fucking cares? So, I've got Rotten Breath, Dragon Ice. Rotten Breath, I mean, Radahn can be rotted, despite the fact that he's already got Scarlet Rot, which is why he's, insane and dying, but I'll just accept that as logic of some sort. Anyway, first things first, while fighting the raid boss, is to get your allies, while dodging his ranged attacks. Summon the half-wolf. Let these guys attack from the front. See there's another ally. Is he rotted? Yeah, he's rotted. Good. Now I grow back onto the peons. He's frostbitten now. Peons will deal more damage. Up into the sky he goes. He'll come down in the direction I'm facing, which will be this way. To the left. Left real quick. Oh, come on. And of course he now suddenly aggroes off me. And of course he actually doesn't. He was just riding in a circle for some reason. Who fucking cares? Okay, that worked pretty well. I'll have to deal damage to him quicker in the first phase so the rot doesn't wear off as quickly into the second. Well, it will wear off at the same time, but yes, increase the overall DPS while staying alive. I should be able to get this to work. Dodge around. Blades over here. Christ's sake. Oi, peons, would just some of you please start attacking the big guy we're here to fight? There we are. No, we're not. He's still on me. What the fuck was the point of summoning, you idiots? You're so slow. There we go. Nope, he's still on me. Why are you still on me? I've not attacked you yet. There we go. Okay. I know he's going to be why he's going to be on me now, though. There we are. Scarlet Rot applied. Now. Ignore Frostbite, since even with the peons dealing damage to him, he's not actually going to take that much more. I might as well increase the DPS on my own by doing this. Yep, okay. In this direction now. He should come down in this direction from the Erd Tree. Bank left. Bring him down next to the peons. As per usual, Thomas Nook, you have to do all the work in a raid boss fight. They couldn't make the NPCs you summon vaguely helpful. No, that would take all of the annoyance out of it. How long does this magma last? I'm not going to find out. Barely 5 seconds. It's probably good in a smaller arena, but that worked. Now I get the wonderful cutscene where a meteor hits the thing lands between. Thank you, Al Miradori. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. It says GG. That was nice. Shooting stars and then a meteor. Why the fuck not? Okay. Yes, a red mark has appeared on the map. I'm sure I'm very interested in that. I'm not. I'm doing pretty well. I cheesed the magma worm to get magma breath. I'm now realising that it's probably not going to be that effective. But I can increase my vigour by 4 and just forgot that I was meant to be increasing my faith now. You know what? No. Vigour will do me good as well. I've managed to get this far without the Black Flame Orb. I'm sure I'll be able to manage for a while yet. about this game since release? Well, if you're looking for inspiration to play it, I suggest you tune out. This is a lot of this stream is just me criticising the game for its bosses. As you said, doing all the work while fighting Radahn. Yes, because why would they make the bosses you summon for the raid boss, not the boss of the allies you summon for the raid boss, actually contribute? It's the same thing pretty much all over. Bosses have janky movesets which are pretty much impossible to read because most of their wind-ups look the same. And hang on, I think I'm safe. Nothing's attacking me. Right. So you start off. I'm going to let's just pick one at random. What's the first one that I'm in the area of? Yes. Here is the flooded place. There's a Tibia Mariner there. That's a special boss which summons skeletons and so on and so forth. Here, somewhere, I think around this area, there's another Tibia Mariner. And then somewhere over here, I believe there is another Tibia Mariner. And then somewhere up here along, or down this side of the map, there's another Tibia Mariner. And then somewhere in this general area, I can't quite remember where, there's another Tibia Mariner. Oh yeah, no I can, it's right here. The Winhan Ruins, there's another Tibia Mariner. And then somewhere further along here, at the top of the mountain, there's another Tibia Mariner. This one boss, you fight 6 times, and it's crap each time. The Erdtrees, these minor Erdtrees, there's one down here, and another over here. There's another over here, and one more over here, sort of. I haven't discovered that one yet. And there's another one somewhere over there, and another one somewhere up here. And they all have the same boss guarding them. No, that's unfair actually, because there's also one of those bosses in the middle of this giant city, and there's also another one in the hidden city up north. So that's lovely, isn't it? You may begin to notice that there's a lot of bosses and they're all the exact fucking same. I got this lovely weapon, the Godskin Peeler, from a Godskin Apostle. A boss you fight once, twice, 3 times, 4 times in the game. I think it's 4 times, I may be wrong, it might be 5, it might even be 6. No, there's definitely one other. Yep, so I think at least 6. And I got this lovely thing from Clean Rock Knights. But enemies that are regular enemies most of the time, but are also bosses twice. This lovely spell I have equipped is Magma Breath, or a spell you get from killing Magma Wyrms. Magma Wyrm, there is one over here, one up here, one somewhere around here, one up here. Yes, of course. Why would you want to fight a boss that's quite crap, let's be honest? You have to stand under it to attack it. But why would you want to put that thing in the game once when you can put it in 4 times? And it's not just the Magma Wyrms. No! Why did I just fast travel to the place I was already at? Oh well, never mind. There's also these, Rotten Breath, Dragon Ice. These are spells that you can get upgraded versions of, and I say upgraded versions, I mean worse versions, because they don't deal that much more damage, but cost twice the amount of mana, so you can get different versions, slightly worse, of these spells by killing dragons. There are about 12 dragon fights in the game, and all of them are the exact same fight. Some of the times the dragon will breathe magic. Sometimes it will breathe fire, sometimes it will breathe ice, sometimes it will breathe rot. it will always suck. And you'll always have to stand underneath it and mostly attack its back legs. Unless you're playing a caster build, like mine, at which point you'll have... Yes, Demon Souls, I've seen enough of Demon Souls. I've not played it, unfortunately, it's expensive, but I've seen enough of Demon Souls to know it doesn't repeat its bosses. Like, I played Dark Souls 2. That's still... I will still maintain it's one of my favourite games. And one thing I like about it is that most of the bosses, they really don't repeat. Yes, a lot of them feel like guys in armour, but I like them. I like how, I like how just simple the bosses are. The main bosses of the story, let's see, there's the Rotten, who's got telegraphed attacks, yes, but they hit like trucks, so it's fair that they're very telegraphed. You have a two-headed spider, I like that, who summons spiderlings. Okay, fine. If you're going to have a two-headed spider, as a spider queen as a boss, I'll accept that they can summon allies. And you know what else? You only fight it once. And that's my point. The bosses in Dark Souls 2, commonly referred to, I will maintain that I still think it's actually better than Dark Souls 1, but let's be generic about this and say Dark Souls 2 is commonly viewed as the worst of the Souls games. It has better bosses than Elden Ring. Dark Souls 3, in my opinion, also has way better bosses than Elden Ring, and better world design, and better dungeon design. Dark Souls 1 has better lore. The only thing that this game does better, and I say better, not bigger, is its weapons. I like its weapons. I like its incantations. I like how enjoyable it is to fight enemies that are your size and that make sense. I don't like how you have to fight most of the other enemies in the game, like the bosses, who have attacks which you can dodge with the dodge roll button, except for the fact that dodging them is irrelevant because most of them deal shockwaves, and they also track, which means even if you do actually dodge them, you don't dodge them. Like, hey look, he's bringing his sword down in a straight line. I'll dodge to the left. Nope, he can turn while swinging a sword. Now, I don't know if you've ever swung a sword. I have. You cannot turn midway through a horizontal slash. Weapon to make a great tattoo? Well, that would depend. If you're looking for something sort of... I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what weapon you think will make... Are you talking about weapons in Elden Ring? Or just weapons in general? Oh, and that's another thing. While I think the weapons and the fighting is better in Elden Ring than it is in Dark Souls 1 and 2, not so much Dark Souls 3, I still think that one actually had better fighting in it, although the weapons were a bit worse. But also, well, that's the thing. You say weapon in Elden Ring, yes, but the weapons and fighting in another game were way better. That game was Bloodborne. And I can't speak on Sekiro because I've not played it, but I'm pretty sure that thing's got great fighting in it too, and good stealth. Elden Ring doesn't do anything better than any of the other Souls games, and I find that depressing because it won Game of the Year. Like Demon Souls, great. Demon Souls, good. I mean, yes, a bit simplistic, very repetitive, sure, but I like simplicity. Not so much I say repetitive, I mean the gameplay was repetitive because lots of the enemies were just kind of the same, but the dungeon design in Demon Souls, I am aware, was brilliant. Dark Souls had good dungeon design as well. Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, all of them. Well-designed dungeons, well-designed bosses. Bloodborne, I'll maintain that there are certain aspects of Bloodborne I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like how most of the enemies are 4 times your size. I think if you're going to be giving me a game where I'm fighting demons, I'm fighting, faster and more aggressively, I'd like the enemies to be a bit smaller and maybe not have to stand underneath them. But that's a problem I have with Elden Ring 2, and at least Bloodborne gives you some much more enjoyable dodging options and a cool way to get your health back after you've got hit. Because of the rallying is called? I like the rally mechanic. Yeah, I don't know if the $40 DLC will be worth it either. I'll still buy it, mostly because I want to stream it. And then complain about it on stream. Anyway, you were saying about weapons. Well, it really depends. I'm not certain what kind of weapon would be best for playing Elden Ring, for an Elden Ring weapon tattoo. How the fuck have you not staggered yet? There we go. Okay, down. Okay, now I get to deal with you then, huh? Just fall on your ass, would you? What the fuck? Joy of joys, a gimmick boss and a gank fight in one. Who doesn't love that? Yeah, I'm still not certain for. What's I mean? Do you like Game of Thrones? If you like Game of Thrones, then maybe the grafted greatsword, which is based off the Iron Throne, would be cool. I like that. Yeah, it's fine. This boss is. It doesn't really require skill, it just requires patience and the willingness to waste your time on random bullshit. I should also probably just equip something else. Oh, for fuck's sake, what? Oh, great, these wankers. Bored. Yeah. I mean, my favourite weapon is this one, the Halo Scythe. I also like the Grave Scythes, and I also like the Great Stars. They're all good. I see Grafted Great Swords are good. I'm not certain. Also, like in short sentences, because it does crop the chat a lot of the time. So, for instance, do you like Game of Thrones? It's like I said, if you like Game of Thrones, Grafted Greatsword is a decent choice. There we go. Right, first one dealt with. Yeah, it's nice to look at, that's the problem. They made it too big, they made all the bosses too big because they could. It's like they were too busy making a game that looked nice to actually make one that was good. They were like, oh, we're going to make a great game. And it is a great game. From a, technological perspective, it's more ambitious than anything Dark Souls has ever done. And Dark Souls, well, when I say Dark Souls, From Software, an incredibly ambitious studio. The problem is that it's not very good. I give it a solid 7 out of 10 as a game. It's fun to stream because you can chat while you're doing it, you don't need to pay attention to dialogue, you can chat with the chat. That's fine, it's very fun to do that. But when it comes to actually playing the game, Well, I'll show you. Hang on. I'm gonna quickly show you. This is my most ambitious build, this one, because it's been the one I've been using casting stuff on. I'm mostly relying on abilities and magic. Well, not magic, but that. This is the one I won my last stream on. This is another one. This is a different one. This is the one I'm currently going through just in my own spare time. Well into the game with this one. And I'm going to show you, this is what my character looks like. This is his weapons loadout. Her, I don't remember the gender of my character in this game. They're a they. So, anyway. Enemy, very big. Yes, the enemies are all very big. This is Leyndell, this is the capital. It's like the midway point of the game, and I'm going to show you, in just a tick, the entire battle strategy employed by this, which I've discovered is the most simple fighting style in the game. This is the way to just make the game simple. By which I mean not die constantly and not be constantly frustrated. Here's an enemy. Watch what I do. I'm going to do this. This is an Ash of War, it's called Wild Strikes. I attack. Jump, two-handed, dead. That's it. This is really simple. These things deal bleed, which is a very effective status build-up. This is a talisman, which increases the damage I deal with jumping attacks. This increases the damage I deal with successive attacks. Jump, hit, repeat. Bonk. It's literally a bonk build. Which is a nice, is a nice thing to do. But also, yeah, it's quite boring. Combat's good, and this and I'll show you. You asked what was the most fun build I've managed before. Well, I'll show it to you. This is the one I've had the most fun with. I beat the most irritating boss on my first try, but the final boss on my first try. And I'll show you versus an enemy. I'm not quite sure which one. I don't know which enemy. I've not been in this area at all, but I don't really want to because it's incredibly annoying. I've been through this whole place. Is there anything I actually want to do around here? No, so there's got to be something around here I haven't killed. Tell you what, there's an avatar of something up here. Or something like that, though. I forgot to get the Sides of Grace here, which means everything's going to take forever to run back to. But even so, I don't need to really demonstrate fighting. I'll just show you the basics. This is my character. They look a bit like a praying mantis. They have a funny hat. And I basically designed this one to make all of the bits of Elden Ring that were crap slightly less so. So for instance, I completely forsook the idea of having an Ash of War that I use, or the idea of attacking enemies like this with regular attacks. No. I have two things in this build, two. One is this jumping two-handed attack. Fun. And the other, I'll show you, is this dodge. It's better than the regular dodge. Pretty much, yeah, Grim Reaper build. The dodge is better than the regular dodge. The jumping attack deals a lot of damage. It also procs bleed, which is a powerful effect if you want it. And yes, I'm just sort of... It's called Bloodhound's Step. You get it from killing a horseback rider with a black spear on top of a horse down here on this bridge. You get it from killing him. Yeah, there's got to be something I haven't killed. Probably something. Oh, there. There's a jail up there. No, that's not a jail. I've killed everything in this, which is the final dungeon. Well, everything worth killing. Oh, I've not been through Spirit Caller's Cave apparently. Well, I might as well go through that. Just to show off what this build can do. It's actually really fun. I like using the dodge and timing the attacks. It feels more, you know, slick, fluid. The gameplay feels more fluid than usual. But even so, I'm not going to deny the fact that honestly, just the simplest builds in this game are usually the easiest. There's one I've seen, which is... I don't remember quite what it's called, but you make your sword, the sword you're using in one of your hands, it's a great sword, and it's an Ash of War, which basically turns the great sword into a gigantic, I mean like really, really, really gigantic, like 40-foot long, I'd say 40, I'm not sure how feet work, about 4 times bigger than the player character. No, I've never actually done an all magic build. But yeah, you raise the sword, it becomes encased in blue magic. And once the sword is encased in all of this blue magic, you bring it down, it deals a huge amount of damage and a huge amount of stagger to the enemies. And then you do it again, and then you do it one more time, and then most things are dead by that point, and most things will stagger with 3 of these hits. It can be done from a super long range. It can hit enemies pretty much all the time, most of the bigger ones, even if they dodge out of the way, because it's huge, and because you'll be casting it while locked onto them from such a distance that you can actually turn while casting it. You'll automatically turn while casting it to face the enemy while they're dodging. And that is just it. That is the entire build. It is have lots of magic with this one sword and deal damage from this one Ash of War. Now, is that effective? Yes. Does it sound very fun? Maybe the first time. Seeing the huge amount of damage, seeing it take down a late game boss in 4 hits is amazing. Also, seeing that late game boss taken down in 4 hits is very amazing. Yes, it's also incredibly boring. Remember back in like Dark Souls 3, The Nameless King, Dark Souls 2, Sir Alon. Dark Souls 3, Gale. Gale had ridiculous amounts of health, dealt ridiculous amounts of damage, had great moves. And these were bosses, and the Nameless King was the same. These were enemies who were good. And why were they good? They were good because they were good at fighting. Not because Melania is... I'll give Melania a pass because I think Melania is good at fighting. Margit I like, apart from the fact that you fight him 4 times in the game. 3 times? 4 times? I don't remember exactly. You fight him a lot. Moog you fight twice. He's not very good at fighting either. The only real enemies you feel like you're fighting in this game are Melania and Margit. That's dumb. All of the others, they're not very good at fighting. Ratigan, final boss. Final boss's first phase. You know what he does? You know what his main attack is? Hits the ground with a hammer and it deals a shockwave of holy damage around him. The final boss is a giant tree thing that flails about. It's literally flailing about, and then it casts homing attacks on you, which is actually a decent ability, and a few magical slashes of a big sword, but no, mostly it flails about and then explodes. Oh, and it's the size of a skyscraper, so good luck actually seeing what it's doing and responding in a logical way. Nope, you're just gonna hit it. It's so underwhelming. I mean, look at the final boss in Bloodborne. Well, I'd say final boss, there's like 3 optional final bosses, but I'm talking about the final boss that most people will get is Gehrman, right? Gehrman fights. You fight him. He's got a weapon. He's got a gun. His weapon in the second phase turns into a scythe. He dodges, he parries, he attacks. It's cool. Ratigan hits the ground and it causes a shockwave, and if you attack him a couple of times, he'll teleport away and then jump into the air and slam his hammer down again and do another shockwave, and then another, and then another, and it's just that every time. Combos, he doesn't have any. He has lightning, which explodes into a shockwave. He has a shockwave on the ground with a hammer. He teleports and then reappears, which deals a shockwave of damage around him. Melania is a good fight in my opinion. I like her. She fights. She has moves. Waterfowl dance. Melania's ability. It's amazing. It's hard to dodge, but it's dodgeable. It doesn't deal a shockwave of damage around it. She jumps into the air and slashes a whole bunch of times, but you can dodge it. Radahn, though, Radahn just sort of flails about on his tiny horse, hits things around him, but doesn't seem to really aim at the player. Well, he does aim at the player, but he aims at the player in the same way you swatted a fly. Even Godric, or no, not Godric, Godfrey, the guy you fight right at the end, who's sort of like, in my opinion, the better version of a final boss. He was the first Elden Lord and all. He reminds me of Gwyn. He's okay to fight, sure, but for the first half of the fight, that one boss with long legs and a skull. Oh, you mean the Deathbird? Deathrite Ritual Bird or something like that. Deathrite Bird. Oh, that thing, Astel. Yeah, I honestly like that thing. It's okay. It doesn't flail about too much. It attacks you with its tail, it attacks you with its pincers, and it attacks you with magic. It will teleport if you get too close and wail on it. But it only does that a few times. It's got one ability which is really hard to dodge, but is dodgeable, where it creates a bunch of clones of itself, and then they all try to grab you. A bit annoying, yeah, but pretty cool in my opinion. Oh, this is a dungeon. I've not been here before. I might have been here before and I've just forgotten. But yeah, like I sort of said before, most of the bosses in this game, they just flail about. There's no fighting. Not really. It's dodging and then attacking, but that's not the same as fighting. Not the same as like with Gehrman or heck, whatever he was called, the boss before Gehrman and the boss after Gehrman. Boss after Gehrman, the Moon Presence, a beast sort of enemy. First proper bosses you fight in Bloodborne, the Cleric Beast, that thing, it's big, yes, but you can see what it's doing, you can lock onto it, you can dodge around it, cool. Oh god, it's not one of these, is it? Of course it is. Right, so these enemies are entirely black, they don't take damage. They're ghosts. So unless I can find some golden light somewhere, they're not going to take any damage. Oh good, imps. So many imps falling from the ceiling. There we are. Come on then. There we go. Your turn. Oi, pay some attention, would you? Of course, since he can't really see me, I can't aggro him. There we are. I just need to wait for him to slowly... Come on, hurry up! Sure, mostly a mobile boss that you can't hit. It's not even a boss here. It's a boss sometimes, and this time it's just a regular enemy. There's a few enemies in this game that you feel like you're actually fighting. Renala, for instance. I think Renala's a good version of a mage fight. She uses cool magic, lots of cool magic. She moves about, she summons spirits. It's a cool fight with a mage. It's undercut a little by the fact that it's got a first phase which is more of an inconvenience than a fight, and is one of the only bosses with a boss run back in the game, which just makes no sense in my opinion. Oh bollocks, not another one of these. I'm confused now. Deeply confused now. Great, more of this. Use the stone sword key. Irritating monk. I can drop down here and... oh right, of course there would be fire in here if I hadn't attacked that thing. For reasons. Oh, for fuck's sake. Invincible Imp. Hello, Invincible Imp. Oh, Cranial Cat. Oh, that's where you get this weapon. That's cool. I've played through this game a lot, but never knew. Oh yeah, you definitely need to do research into this game if you actually want to play it in any way that's like not annoying as hell. Great. Oh, good. Why do I get the feeling there'll be a giant enemy behind this, which will also be entirely black, and I won't be able to... yeah! Also, there should be a thing here. This should be golden now. It's not, which means I'm sure I need to activate something, which will turn the area around me golden. I'm just assuming I need to jump down here to do it. Oh, it's one of you. I'm going to sneak up on you. Oh. These things can't be backstabbed. That's nice. Good for them. Die. Fire prelates, helm and armour. Nice equipment to have that very few people actually bother to wear because A, it looks like crap, and B, it's not very useful. Like, there's better heavy armour in the game. So unless you want to cosplay as a member of that fire cult, you're not going to be... oh, fuck off. Yep, and I'm out of health. I'll slowly regenerate health here. Die. This thing increases my health a little. Grave Glowthwort 9, Great Grave Glowthwort, lovely stuff. I've already beaten Melania, so there's no point in using it, but it's nice to have anyway. Straight away, yep. Just hope I don't get killed by this thing while I'm here. Because sometimes, also, enemies will completely ignore things like walls and ceilings when performing their attacks. Yeah, I like Estelle. I like Estelle, even though you fight him like twice. The second time, in the snowfields, is honestly the best time you're going to fight Estelle. He's got the best... oh, please tell me there wasn't a lever up here I needed to pull or something, which I just missed because I was too busy talking. There was, wasn't there? Oh, of course there was. Down here, left. Oh, and that's another issue with this game, is the camera. Because everything's gigantic, your camera ends up flailing about half the time. And there's certain bosses you can't actually lock onto the part of them you can damage. Like the fire giant and certain of the dragons. The elder dragons, I think they're called. The ones with red lightning abilities. You can't actually lock onto their legs, which are the only bits of them you can actually hit. You can lock onto their torsos, but not their legs. Again, not really sure why it was designed that way, but I'm sure From Software had a reason for designing their bosses to have this terrible inconvenience as a part of their designs. Hang on. It looks like that looks like a lift. And it goes up. Nope. The fire giant is an enemy who you can, for the first phase of his fight, you can only lock onto his legs. Not only lock onto it, you can only damage his legs, but you can't lock onto them. And the elder dragons, you can't lock onto their legs at all. And those are the only parts of them that you can damage ever during the fight. Sorry, because you fight about 5 of them. And you can't lock onto any of their legs. No. There are some issues with this game. Many of them, in fact. It's not as good as any of the other FromSoft games, at least I've never played Dark Souls 1 all the way through, or Demon Souls, or Sekiro. But I've played 2, 3, and Bloodborne, and I think all 3 of them are better than this game. I like the weapons. The weapons are good. I like this build because it gives me... it basically just makes me feel like I'm playing Bloodborne. I've heard many people who do Elden Ring streams make this point, and I'm one of them, is that the game would be significantly better if it were a lot smaller. Like if the map were cut in half, if there were less enemies, less empty space, because there's so much, and that's the other thing. It's a good game in the sense that it's, you know, big and there's lots of it, but also lots of it's empty. Come on, big guy. Come on. What? Oh! Fucking hell. I've forgotten this guy had a ranged attack, but he does. Lovely. If he stomps, I die. This guy, though, you can lock onto his leg. There you go, dead. Heavy door is opened, as apparently this guy would... This is the only one of these dungeons in which you actually have to kill an enemy to open the door, not pull a lever. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm not going to question it. I'm going into this... Yeah. Yeah, no, I've never seen a convincing argument for repeating bosses in the game. Oh, come on! Another one of these! This is a pretty cool dungeon. I mean, it's got its issues, but for fuck's sake, another ancient Zamori? Zama? Whatever you call them. Really? if you're confused by my reaction, allow me to explain. We are currently in the Consecrated. This enemy is an enemy you fight as boss in the beginning area of the game, in Limgrave. Okay, fine. It's a bit unique then. Then you fight it as bosses a few more times in other dungeons around the world. Fine. And then you get to the mountaintop of giants. And you find some ruins in which there are 10 of these things. 10. Not bosses, no, regular enemies, and there's 10 of them. Oh no, this one's special. We give it a blizzard attack. Yes, very impressive. You have a slightly different ability than the rest of the bosses are exactly like you. Quite impressive. I could summon a clone of myself to make this fight a bit easier. Could also not do that. Oh, good. Great. This guy also deals damage when he jumps. Yeah, there's his blizzard. I'm sure you feel oh so special with that attack. Oh, that's another new one. Well done, you have 2 unique abilities. You're a late game boss, who's a reskin of a boss you fight in the first fucking area, and you have 2 different abilities than him. 2 new attacks than the other 10 versions of this enemy you fight at the beginning of this late game area. For fuck's sake! He's also just refusing to let me hit this thing for some ungodly reason. Now I have frostbite. And it's dead. Oh wow! I got the Zamor set. Let's have a look at that, the reward for killing this thing. Some bandages with no armour at all. Some other bandages with slightly more armour, but let's be honest, it's none. Some armour which is... I mean, this is the Red Main Knight's armour. You can get this in the second area of the game. This is the Cuckoo Surcoat, which you can get in the third area of the game. This one's a bit lighter, but both of these are better. This is, yeah, ridiculous. So, and the mask is going all the way down to, here, the Zamor mask. Almost the exact same ratings as this mask, the Okina mask, but the Okina mask is a bit better in most regards. Pretty much all regards, in fact. And this thing can be obtained by killing another enemy in this exact same area. Yes, you get that from killing an enemy here at the Church of Repose. Oh my god. So few logical reasons. It's like, what is the scaling? Like, I would understand if that was a mid-game armor set. Getting that in the middle of the game, cool. Assuming you're saying Tears of the Kingdom, that was the last Zelda game, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I don't quite know, I can't quite remember. I don't think I've ever actually watched that, so I'll take your word that there was a lot of repeat usage. Then again, that at least has the excuse of being Zelda. It was... are you saying it repeated elements from its own game, or repeated elements from the last Zelda games? Because that's at least fair. It's Zelda. Not meant to, like... There's lots of that already. But yeah, there is no excuse for it in this game. It's just terrible. Just terribly designed. Like, everything in this area, south, Leonie of the Lakes, Limgrave, Caelid, the Weeping Peninsula, all of these underground areas underneath it, which I can't show you because I've not discovered any of them in this playthrough, they could all be removed. You start here at the beginning of the Atlas Plateau, Kingdom to your right, Volcano to your left, Mountain past the area, and sure, let's put a couple of underground areas beneath it as well. That is already a big open world, not a gigantic open world, but a big open world. Heck, you can put yeah. Yeah, they do that a lot in this game, but that's the thing, Thomas, look, here's the thing. I've been, a friend of mine, well, I say a friend of mine, a friend of my sister's from work, she said she relayed this to him and he agrees, and I've talked to a bunch of people online about it. One of my most regular viewers, a guy called Unbeatable Sheep, he streams too, if you're interested, but he talks about this a lot, and I talk about it a lot as well. Games have a problem. I saw it with Kingdom Hearts 3, and then we saw it again with Final Fantasy Rebirth. I'm seeing it now, which I'm playing at the moment. I'm seeing the problem with that game. I'm seeing the problem with this game. I see the problem with Kingdom Hearts 3, with Horizon Forbidden West, and it's this. They make games big now. They like big. Big is good. That's what they've got in their heads. No, it isn't. There is no need for bot games to be giant. There is only a need for them to be good. Do I want to fight a boss 12 times? No, I don't. I do not want to fight a boss 12 times. I want to fight a boss maybe twice in a game. Once is good, twice is... It's stretching it, but okay, fine. Give me a boss a second run, why not? 12 times, too much. And don't make it so big. Look, this is a boss arena. Look at it! Has anyone in the entire history of Elden Ring ever fought Radahn, say, over here? No! You're fighting on top of the hill. This entire space, all of it, has no reason to exist. No reason at all. This is meant to be a From Software game. This is a game which was based on the taglines, everything wants to kill you, basically. That was the formula. Is you couldn't, in Dark Souls, all of the Dark Souls games, you couldn't walk 12 feet without something wanting to kill you. Here's the opening area. Here is the opening area. There was an enemy here. In fact, I think he might still be here. I might as well kill him. My point is, this guy... Wow, I've really wasted time trying to get magma breath. It does not deal a lot of damage. Anyway, I'll show you after. It's not that gameplay developers are scared, in my opinion. I think it's literally just, it's two things. One is that gamers demand that their games be huge now. Skyrim was the first of the problems. And I've played through Skyrim, everyone loves it. I don't see what the big deal is. Fun game, good for modding, the mods are good. And some of the scripted bits are very cool, but it's huge. Like, if I want to explore the big open world, yeah, cool. Not much to explore though, is there? I mean, that's actually not true. Skyrim has a densely packed map, much more densely packed than this place, and lots of overworld encounters. But still, a significant chunk of your playthrough will be dedicated to walking. If I want to go somewhere. Yes. It's not just that. Yes, games that had 20-hour playthroughs were good. And you could dedicate, say, another 20 hours to polishing off completely, killing some extra bosses, all of that. And then there were others. JRPGs, for instance. JRPGs nowadays, in my opinion, they're worse. They're bigger, yes. Cooler, yes. But grinding is an intrinsic part of JRPGs. I wish it weren't, but it is. So that's fine. Kingdom Hearts is meant to be a JRPG, and Kingdom Hearts 1 was... You fight some enemies, go back, fight some more. Kingdom Hearts 3, you can't do that. There are so many enemies that none of them give very much XP, so grinding against them is pretty much worthless. You know how I ground my way to level 100 in Kingdom Hearts 3? There was a area where you fight things, like a special fight. I don't remember quite what it was called. It was one of those areas where you click on a thing and you get teleported into an arena full of enemies. That, perfectly fine. And then... yeah, I just cast Mega Flare 5 times. And then all of the enemies were dead. And then I did it again, and then again, and then again, and then again, and then again, and again, and again, and again, and again, until I got level 100. Which is fine. Grinding like that, fine. But the other thing about Kingdom Hearts 3 is it didn't feel like a JRPG. It was a hack and slash game, but you had to grind constantly to actually be effective. It was huge. And I mean huge. The areas did not need to be that big. None of the areas in the game needed to be that big. And it's the same thing in this game. It's the same in all of them. They make them too big. And that's because they think to themselves, right, we're going to make this game huge. Great. I like huge games. Games that are huge can be good. But you know what else games that are huge have to be? Full. This area here, Liurnia of the Lakes. It's empty. It's not empty. There's small enemies all over the lake. Yeah, JRPGs are turn-based games like Persona 5 and such. Persona 5, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, all of that. And they've been making them bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't see the point. Like, the last Metal Gear game. Nobody really liked it. Why did nobody really like the last Metal Gear game? It was open world. It was huge. It wasn't a cool story set sneaking through an area. And I've never played Metal Gear, but I know enough about the franchise to be able to say the first games were enjoyable because they had a fixed narrative they were linear games. You start in one place, you go through the game bit by bit by bit, and then you're done. There were some collectibles, sure, some cool stuff you could do. Yeah, yes, they are adding lots of content to add for the price, but they're not though, are they? You could compress Elden Ring, everything in it, all of the enemies, all of the dungeons, all of it, into a game 1/3 of its size. It would still be the same game. Like, all of it would fit. So, why is it so big? It's not... Because they're not adding content to these games. They don't need to add content to justify price. They need to add size. But size and content are not the same thing. Elden Ring's cool because it's huge. No, it's not. The best parts of Elden Ring are the smaller parts. Lanedale, in my opinion. The city, cool. Good area. The first area, the first open world area, Limgrave, I think is quite good. The forts you fight your way through, the mines you fight your way through, I find them quite well designed. And the final area, the Hallig Tree, I think is brilliant. A return to the old sorts of From Software level design. It's wonderful. The Hallig Tree is good, all of it's good. What I don't like, this place. I'm up a mountain, I've been riding for ages. I'm riding past some buildings here, there's going to be a few enemies, but mostly what are there? Sheep. Never. Oh look! There's some small enemies around these sheep. This is Dark Souls. It's not Dark Souls, but it's a Souls-like game. I should not be surrounded by sheep, which can roll for some weird reason. So yes, it's a good game, but it would be way better if it was 1/3 of the size. And the worst part is, they'd still make money off it. The profits they've made off this game must be astronomical. And the price of it is also astronomical because it's so big. Do I like that the game is so big? No. Does anyone think Elden Ring's great because of its size? No. It's great because it's got cool weapons and some cool bosses. That's why people like it. Although, let's be honest, most people really like it because of the cool weapons in a PvP aspect. Lots of people who play Elden Ring play it for the PvP, and that's fine. I don't particularly like that. Mostly because I can't play PvP because I don't have PlayStation Plus. But for the most part, it's a fine thing to have in your game. PvP elements are fine. But, again, why? Why would I want... Why is the game so big then if half of it's going to be geared towards PvP stuff? The main draw of the game is fighting other players with the cool weapons and fighting a few of the bosses with the cool weapons. I don't see the appeal. I just don't. Like this, Demi-Human Queen, Demi-Human with the staff. Firstly, there's allies around for the fight. Nobody has ever enjoyed that. Nobody likes skank fights. And another one, Demi-Human Queen here. Hello, Demi-Human Queen Maggie. You look very similar to 8 other Demi-Human Queens in this game. One of whom is somewhere else on this mountain. And one of whom I fought in the opening area. It's just the same every time. I was expecting the wolf to make some sort of move, but never mind. Yeah, I like the size. I like the size of the actual Souls games. You know, Dark Souls 3 was big. It was. It was a big game. There were lots of areas, but those areas were full. Look at this. There's a siege tower over there. And then on top of that, there's an enemy right up there at the top of that mountain. And I can spend a solid 2 minutes moving very fast through a Dark Souls-esque game, a Souls-like game, without being attacked by anything. There we are. Here's one enemy. The enemy will probably kill me in one hit. I'm not very powerful. And they just do random bullshit like that. Become a Beyblade for some reason. Nah, not really into that. So I've been streaming for like 3 hours now, 2 hours, and I'm out of rant. So I'm gonna leave. Been nice chatting with you. Have a good day.